Let me ask you something. When you hear the phrase, a strong personality, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, it's something very specific, and I'm going to argue, probably wrong. So let's dig in and figure out what true strength really looks like.
So yeah, let's just put the question right out there. What does it actually mean to be strong? If you strip away all the cliches and stereotypes, what are we really talking about?
Did you picture something like this? You know, the roaring lion, the super muscular person, or maybe that cold, calculating individual who seems like nothing can touch them? Yeah, these are the classic symbols of strength. But honestly, they're missing the entire point.
Now this quote, this is interesting because it just completely flips our whole definition upside down. It says real strength isn't about the power you use on other people, it's about the power you have over yourself. It's all about mastering your own internal world.
And that right there is the heart of it. True strength is really the art of emotional management. I mean, ask yourself this, are you in charge of your feelings, or are your feelings in charge of you? A strong person knows how to handle their anger, their fear, their insecurities. They don't let those things run the show.
Okay, so if strength is really an internal skill, how do you even build it? Well, you can think of it like a structure that stands on 4 essential pillars. And here they are. It all starts with self-acceptance, which then supports self-esteem. That esteem is what fuels your self-confidence. And finally, all of that allows you to have healthy self-assertion. Now, they're all critical, but today we're going to zoom in on confidence, because it's really the engine for getting things done. But first, let's quickly clear up some confusion between those last two. People mix these up all the time. Self-assertion is about expression. It's your ability to say what you think and stand up for your rights. Self-confidence, on the other hand, is about performance. It's your belief that you can actually do a certain task. See the difference? One is about speaking your truth, the other is about your ability to act. All right, so let's really dig into this self-confidence thing, because it is so fundamental to everything we do in life. And we can actually map it out with a super simple but really insightful tool. Okay, check this out. It's simple. You've got your actual ability and your feeling of ability. When those two things match up, you're in a great spot. If you have high skill and you feel highly skilled, that's true confidence. If you have low skill and you feel like you have low skill, well, that's just awareness, no problem there. The issues pop up when they're mismatched. Feeling like you're amazing but having low actual skill, that's arrogance. But here's what's so wild. The most dangerous place to be on this chart isn't arrogance. It's self-deprecation. And why is that? Well, think about it. The arrogant person is at least going to try. They'll probably fail, and maybe they'll learn their true limits. But the person who's self-deprecating, they actually have the ability, but they don't believe they do, so they never even start. They just sit on the sidelines, never realizing what they're capable of. So this brings up a huge question then. If confidence is that important, where does it even come from? How is that feeling actually formed inside our heads? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. That feeling of confidence you have in any given moment is built on one of two things. It's either based on your experiences from the past, or it's based on your expectations of the future. Think about a brand new teacher. On their first day, they're probably a nervous wreck. High anxiety, right? They have no past experiences to pull from. But give them 3 years. That anxiety's gone. After 10 years, walking into a classroom is like breathing. It's just another day. That feeling of calm in the present is built directly on a huge library of past successes. And this is a perfect personal example that shows confidence is not a one-size-fits-all trait. It is totally situational. The speaker has a ton of past experience with public speaking, so he feels totally confident doing that. But leading prayer, he doesn't have much experience there, so in that specific context, he gets nervous. It's all about what's in your mental library for that specific task. Okay, so what happens when you're facing something completely new? You're going for a job you've never done before, or maybe you're learning a new instrument. Your brain goes looking for past experiences, and the shelf is empty. There's nothing there. So what does it do? It pivots. When there's no data from the past, your brain basically becomes a fortune teller. And now, your feeling of confidence depends entirely on your expectation of what's going to happen. If you predict a good outcome, you'll feel capable. But if you start predicting failure and judgment, you're going to feel that anxiety kick in hard. So what this all means is that the only way to build that library of past experiences or to create a positive expectation of the future is to take action. And taking action, more often than not, means coming face to face with fear. This quote just nails the strategy perfectly. Our natural instinct is to run away from the things that scare us. But the only way to build real confidence is to move towards the fear, to just fall right into it. See, fear loves the unknown. It's just like being afraid of a dark room. You can stand outside that door all day long, imagining all the terrible things that might be inside. And that fear will just grow and grow until you do one simple thing: flip on the light switch and walk in. The second you see there's nothing scary in there, the fear vanishes. Experience is the light switch.
Here's another way to think about it. Facing a fear for the first time is like taking a big bite of a lemon. It's super sour, right? A real shock to your system. But the second bite is a little less intense. By the third, your mouth has kind of gotten used to it. The lemon didn't change. Your perception of it did. Exposure makes fear less powerful.
Okay, now this is probably the most important idea of all. I want you to picture your fear as a small monster. It's not that scary. But every single time you avoid the thing you're afraid of, every time you run away, you're basically throwing that monster a piece of food. And it eats and it gets bigger. And the next time you see it, it's more intimidating and it chases you just a little bit further.
The conclusion here is kind of inescapable. You have to stop feeding the monster. The only way to get your freedom back is to turn around, face it, and starve it of the attention and avoidance it craves. Every act of courage, no matter how small, is like taking food away from it. It starts to shrink, and you start to reclaim your ground, your peace, and your strength.
So that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just take a second and think about your own life. What small monster have you accidentally been feeding by running away? And what is one small step you can take today to start starving it instead?